Discipline is just choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Hey there, this is Camila, and this is episode 71 of the Rugged Angel Cast. Every week, I talk to a different woman about something creative, amazing, innovative, exciting, strange, funny, awesome, something that she's doing that she is proud of. I am here for the celebration and empowerment of women, and hopefully you are too. So speaking of empowered women, Amber Epps, aka Hollyhood, is my guest this week. Besides being a talented lyricist, producer, computer whiz, and entrepreneur, I found out that she's also a hedge witch. Listen to the show to find out what that means. Cool. All right, Amber Epps, welcome to the Rugged Angel Cast.
Thank you.
How's your day going so far?
It goes.
It goes.
Yeah, it's a nice day outside, so that makes me happy.
It's finally beautiful.
Yeah, I'm holding on to this right now, because it could snow tomorrow, for all I know.
Seriously, I have come to realize that I don't think I'm going to be comfortable putting away my winter clothes until like June.
Right. I still carry my sweater around. I mean, I was in Monroeville earlier, and when I got out of the car, I was like, oh, it's hot. I'm going to leave my sweater in the car. But then when I walked like 20 feet away, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm cold. It's cold over here. I need my sweater. So, yeah.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Are you from Pittsburgh originally?
Well, I've been here since I was 7. I was born in Williamsport.
Okay. And do you go back? Like, does your family all move from Williamsport? Did you go back?
I can't recall being in Williamsport ever. So
okay. All right.
But I was born in Pennsylvania, pretty much been here my whole life, except I lived in Ohio when I was young for a little bit, and then I went to college the first time in Ohio.
Oh, yeah? What part?
Kent State.
Okay. I am originally from Ohio, from Toledo, Ohio.
Okay. I used to live in Columbus.
Okay, yeah. Major, not much of a difference, but it's a distance-wise.
Yeah, I have family in Chillicothe.
Okay.
Also.
All right.
Yeah.
So what did you study in school?
Well, at Kent State, I studied computer information systems.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What made you? What brought you there?
I was undecided, and then I chose journalism as my major, and then I changed it after a semester because I thought, I don't know if I like people that much, and I kept picturing myself as like some reporter trying to chase someone down the street with a microphone to get an interview, and I get rejected, and I didn't want to be that person. So I picked information systems because that's what everybody else was doing.
That way, your interaction with people was very limited.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Now you're a teacher now as well.
Yeah. So as much as I didn't like people, now I'm around people a lot.
You're around people a lot.
A lot.
So what was what area of Pittsburgh did you grow up in?
Penn Hills.
Okay. Are you an only child? Do you have siblings?
No, I have lots of siblings. I have 5 sisters and 2 brothers, and then there's step brothers and sisters too.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't all grow up together.
Okay,
so. My mom has kids, my dad has kids,
okay.
And then my mom and my dad, who, my mom and her husband have kids, so I call him my dad, and then my biological dad, he has kids, so it's like there's a lot of
people. Where do you fall in age-wise?
I'm my mother's oldest. I'm my father's second oldest.
Okay, so a lot of people say that you can go through life and you can point out the people who are older siblings. I am an older sibling. And do you have that persona? Does it feel like
I think so.
Always kind of take care of everyone around you?
Yeah, it's my instinct too. I have to be in control of things. So, I didn't grow up with my dad's side of the family. So, in my growing up life, I was the oldest child.
Right.
And the different one. And, like the guinea pig child, where people are trying to figure out, I guess, if they're doing it right. And then after that, everybody else seems like they're spoiled. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't get baby fat coats,
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even ask for that. I would
Exactly.
I would never ask for a baby fat
right.
coat.
I didn't get to stay out this late. I didn't get to go and do that. And yeah.
I got in trouble because I got a pager.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I bought it with my own money that I worked for, and like my mom tried to fight me. I tried to run. She chased me. Like,
A pager, okay.
Pager.
Was it a strict household?
Not really, but I don't know.
Well, I guess depending upon the time, I don't know how old you are, but
I'm 37 now.
okay, so I would imagine around that time.
It's like 95-ish.
Yeah. Only had pagers were doctors or drug dealers.
Yeah, and it was a new thing.
In the adults' eyes, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a new thing, whereas now there's like, 5-year-olds with cell phones.
Which I don't understand children without jobs or any real responsibility walk around here with Apple, with iPhones. And
I know. And then they break and they're like, my phone's broken. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want me to produce a new one for you?
You're absolutely blessed to have that the first time around.
Right. Seriously. And only because I had to get an extra, it's sometimes like a weird situation where you have to upgrade a phone or your plan change. I don't know. And like, that's how you ended up with the phone, child.
Be lucky that you had it in the first place.
Yes.
So, all right. So, I mean, you have like two completely different sides of yourself.
Yes, and probably more. Yeah.
Well, at least public sides of yourself.
Yeah.
Because I did a little Google search on you. And everything that comes up, Amber Epps is very, on the up and up and very professional and whatnot. And,
That's good.
Adjunct professor and, teaching. And I know you do a lot of workshops and stuff with GPAC and things like that, trying to teach artists how to be better, basically, which they all need. Like, all creatives need just a little bit of, a little more professional sway.
Yeah.
But then we've got Hollyhood.
Yeah. She's there too on the Google.
On the Googles.
Yes.
Hip hop artist.
Yes.
Lyricist.
Yeah.
Extraordinaire. Yeah. So, how did Hollyhood come to be?
Well, there was a character around before Hollyhood was around, but that rapping character came around. Let's just say I wrote my first song in 6th grade detention. Yeah, I was just sitting there. I had nothing else to do. And a song was stuck in my head, so I wrote a rap to it.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I wrote a song. I only remember the beginning. It was just basically about being in detention, and my teacher had a toupee, and it was sliding off, and it was raining outside.
This is 6th grade.
Yeah.
Right.
And then...
What were you in detention for?
This kid in the library, I remember David Burge. We were in the library, and he called me a douchebag.
Okay.
And I told him to shut up, and I got caught saying shut up. So I got detention.
For saying shut up?
It was the only time I've ever had detention in my life, yes.
So was it Catholic school that you went to?
No, it was Penn Hills. It was Mr. Laszlo in the library. Guess we weren't supposed to be talking, and I got heard saying shut up. Okay.
All right. So, all right, 6th grade, you're rapping about the rain and your teacher's toupees.
Yeah. And then around 8th or 9th grade, when Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style came out and some other things came out, I was like, oh man, I really like these beats. And so I would just write my own raps to the beats. And a lot of times I would follow the same flow pattern and even use the same rhyming scheme as or one that's very similar to the original artist. So I was just kind of doing it for myself. And then, the Bone tapes came out, and at the end they had the instrumentals of the songs. I'm like, what? I'm about to be a rapper. So I had my double tape deck in my room. So I would put the Bone tape on one side and the blank cassette on the other side and press record and get real close to that little microphone slot on the on the device. And that's how I made my first song, I guess, like actually recorded in my room. And then I met a dude named Scrap, who I became pretty good friends with. But when I met him, I told him, I was like, I rap, because him and his brothers and all rap. And he's like, whatever. No, you don't rap. Let me hear you rap. And then I rapped it. And he was like, oh, you do rap. Okay, you can rap with us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this was your street team now.
Yeah, that was my first street team. Yeah.
And how old were you at this point?
I was... maybe about 15, 16-ish, something around there. Maybe 17.
And what is your rap style?
it can change.
Do you have is there any subject matter in particular? Are you more like gangsta street? Are you a little comical? Are you just true to life?
It was like a combination of just all like the above. Yeah. Back then though, the 90s, the thing was gangster rap. So we were all gangsters back then. Yeah, we were definitely hardcore back then. Yeah. But if there's like, sometimes I would say stuff that people thought was funny and I'm like, no, I wasn't being funny. I was serious. But I guess it seemed funny like coming from a female, but I don't know.
Right. Did you find it more difficult to navigate the hip hop waters as a female?
Back then, I don't think I did because I had no really clue about what was going on too much outside of us because we didn't have the internet back then.
Right.
So, I mean, we would do some shows here and there, but I was really well received because I was the only female. So I had no clue what what was really going on, like I said, outside of our little bubble. Right. Our little non-internet having rap bubble.
Remember those days when...
it was a really good time.
You had to wonder what people were thinking.
And it's funny because even on the way here, I was thinking oh my goodness, if I didn't have GPS, she would have had to give me directions and I would have had to write them down.
Yeah, I know. Remember that? Landmarks and shit.
Yeah.
No, you're going to come across this. Yeah. And, all right, so you've got your team now. And this is still the 90s at this point. And are you guys still together-ish, or did you guys disband?
We disbanded.
What was the name of was there a group
back
name?
then we were called Crew Clan.
Okay. Was it spelled with K's or C's?
The first one was K, and then it was 2 K's actually.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like cousins running east to west because lazy ass niggas ain't. So there was a silent A at the end. Scrap came up with that, and I was just like, whatever. We drove to New Orleans to perform.
Really?
Yeah, in 98 or 99 in my Geo. Yeah, so we were doing big things. There was a jazz festival, and they asked us to come perform, and it was. We ended up being placed in this country western bar to perform. So
that's odd.
We were very out of place, but I mean we had a very interesting time, I'll say.
I'm sure.
It's definitely a story. We met somebody from who is that? What the I don't know if it's Cash Money or whoever Juvenile was with back then. We got their information. So that was a big deal back then. We were all excited.
Yeah.
Hanging out on the roof of a hotel and stuff. Yeah.
Big dreams.
Yeah.
For the little kids. I mean, that's a big deal at that point in your life to go on tour, quote unquote, but at a jazz festival nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, fast forward to now. I haven't seen much for Hollyhood recently, the last few months at least, or maybe last year.
Yeah.
But are you still rapping?
Yeah, a little bit. I work on stuff here and there, but it's hard because I have a real life and kids and jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then most of my musical involvement in the last couple years has been putting together shows.
Okay.
For so other people.
Producing now?
Yeah. And I mean, there's a couple I've done this year already. I have one coming up in May, and then my best friend and I produced the hip-hop segment for the Arts Festival this year.
Okay. So what's that going to be like?
We have 2 hours of hip-hop acts.
Is this the first time that they've had something like this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty dope. That's amazing.
Yeah. The Arts Festival reached out to us and said, hey, we heard you guys are good at this. Can you help us with this? And we were like, hell yeah.
Are they going to be local artists? Or are they
they're all local artists.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's very cool. Oh yeah, it's already out there.
Okay.
So it's gonna be Chew Jackson, Billy Pilgrim, Hubs, Track Meet, and Pirate Gang, and me. And I'm hosting also.
Excellent. Yeah. That's all right. Cool. And the Arts Fest is always the first weekend of June, or the first week of June.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's going to be on June 8th.
Where is the stage?
It's going to be on the main stage. So that's why it's an even bigger deal. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. Is it just one day or?
It's just the one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's really dope.
I know.
Are you feeling pumped? Are you excited?
Yeah,
are you nervous?
We still are oh my goodness, we did that because it's never been done, and then it's on the main stage too.
Right.
So it's making a really big statement.
And they reached out to you.
Yeah.
This is something that I always kind of struggle with: hip hop versus rap. Do you feel that there's a difference?
Well, hip hop's the culture. Rap is the thing.
Is the activity.
Is the activity, yeah. But there's different styles of rap. But people, tend to classify the more backpack East Coast type of rap as hip hop, or the more lyrical kind of rap as hip hop, and the not so lyrical kind of rap as just rap.
Right.
I'm guilty of doing it. It's just one of those things where it's like two words that aren't the same, but people misuse them. And sometimes people know what you're talking about. Other times it causes arguments. But for some reason we're okay with it because there's no like hip hop authority out there that's like, you guys are using the word all wrong,
I would like for someone to just come down and just,
seriously,
can we just make a decision on it? Because I fall into that category where I do believe that, yes, hip hop is a culture, and it also kind of bleeds over to, I don't know how to put this properly, but like I hear and I see like a lot of rap that doesn't fall into the hip hop lifestyle, sort of.
I know what you're saying.
And and that just kind of like, and I get that whole old man yelling at clouds kind of persona about it. It was like, you guys don't know, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think it's just because hip hop, like everything else, is a thing that started and then it grew and it branched off, and there's different subgenres of hip hop, and and people like you and like me sometimes, and other people, like we fell in love with the original hip hop. Right. So when we see a lot of the new stuff, we're like, what is that? Like,
I can't understand what you're saying.
That's not even it. Like, I didn't come here for this. Like, I didn't fall in love with this, you know? So it's just, and that reminds me that I'm also getting older, because I'm like, who? Yeah. Yes. Lil Uzi, who? What?
Everybody's a little
something.
A little something.
Yeah.
And and I think that also kind of gets in my craw too, is that it's like back in my day.
Yeah. But then, I have to think that, at some point there were people before us who were like, what is that? That's not music. Yeah. And so I try not to be that person, but at the same time, I know, sometimes you just have to draw a line, because it's not, the music isn't produced for the same reason as it was back then. Like now it's just, most of the time it's just for the purpose of making money. Right. And so like, I can't really get down with that, because that's not what's in my heart. Right. That's not, we didn't jump on this bandwagon for the money. It was because it's what we love to do. Right. It was a form of self-expression and and also education. And, there was a lot of lyrical and a lot of rap, a lot of hip hop that was to the point. There was a purpose a little bit greater than just, fame and celebrity. Yeah, and I was watching Get Down the other day, and I said, you know what? This is why it was so cool back then. It's because people would just tell you like, nope, you're not allowed to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Right. But now there's you can't do that. It's everybody's included, no rapper left behind. Oh, you're a rapper, and you're a rapper, and you're a rapper. There's nobody that's saying like, no, you suck. Right. You're not allowed to do this. Yeah. Go find something else to do. Go to trade school. I don't know. Exactly. Yes. There needs to be a line. Just like everybody, just because you're saying words to beats, that's not necessarily what you're doing. And it doesn't mean you're a rapper. Doesn't mean you're a hip hop artist. No. And I think that's a lot of times why people don't take rappers seriously, because there's so many, and then there's so many that aren't good, and then nobody will tell them that they aren't good. And if you say, no, you're not good, then you're a hater. It's like, right. And I always tell people like, no, that's my opinion. I'm not hating on you. Right. Like I don't like raisins, but I'm not hating on raisins. I just don't like them. They're not good to me. Right. That's my opinion. You're welcome to have raisins if you want to. I don't want to have them. Have you done much mentoring in hip hop at all? Probably not formally, just, people will hit me up and say, can you let me know what you think about this song? Or I'm trying to do this, but I don't know how to go about doing it. Can you help me? And I try to the best of my ability. It really just depends on who it is that's asking, because, again, I know there are some people that really, they love this. So they really want to do this thing. And then, just like in everything else, there's also people that are opportunists who like, well, she knows this stuff. And instead of me trying to learn it or, figure it out the way she did, I'm just going to ask for it and try to get it the easy way. Right.
And that's the thing that really does bug me a lot. There's just a lot of things I don't mind giving help where I can and selectively.
Right.
But there's a lot of times that people do try to take advantage of you or and just like, they're lazy and they don't want to take the time to just I learned most of this shit like Googling and reading and,
Seriously,
myself.
Figuring out before there was a Google.
Right. Exactly. Oh my God. Yeah. Just
all you have to do is type words and the words come back to you. I know it. I
did things like go to the library and find books and read these books and, find people and, it's just, it's a different world these days.
Yeah.
So what is your writing process like?
Mostly
is it just like what it hits you?
It can vary. So a lot of times it's just like something might pop in my head and I'll just type it in my phone real quick or I'll write it on a piece of paper. And then maybe another time like I'll start putting the pieces together. Like on my old notebooks, which I still have from the 90s.
Yes.
I can see there's just like things written all over paper. So when it was time to write a song, like I would just go through and like pick out some of those things and kind of put it together. But if it's a topic that I'm like super passionate about, I might be able to just like write it out without having to go to my little clips and pieces.
Nice.
But I have to be like super passionate about it, like really pissed off or really happy about it. It's like there's two extremes. Anything in the middle, it's like bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think most creatives have in common is like either it has to be some sort of extreme emotion that's putting you in the place of creation. Yeah. And it's good that we have those outlets and
exactly.
It's not just like...
Exactly.
Are your kids musical?
My oldest son played the saxophone. He was in the marching band. My youngest kids, they like they played around on the instruments we have at home, but they're more into sports. My mom got them into sports. I'm not a sports person.
Okay.
So they're just like sports. So they haven't really had a chance to
figure out that. Yeah. So you just kind of have stuff lying around the house just.
Yeah, and I keep saying, one day you're going to learn how to play an instrument. One day. It's not all about sports.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 sons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 10, 13, and 20.
20?
Yeah, my oldest son's old.
Wow.
I keep looking at him like, I don't know where you came from.
Who are you?
I was just in 8th grade like 3 years ago. So I don't know like, where you came from.
Grown-ass man in my house.
How you got so big,
Wow. I would never guess in a million years that you had.
He's a junior in college.
Grown-ass man.
Yeah, grown-ass man. Yep. Exactly what he is.
So what was it difficult being that young
Well, yeah, obviously, because I still wanted to be a teenager.
Right.
Luckily, my mom helped me. Okay. And I probably allowed her or forced her to help me more than I should, just because, I was 17 when I had him. And then I got a full scholarship to Kent, which is in Ohio. Right. And my mom, she said that she would keep my son and take care of him so I could go to school.
Wow.
Yeah, so she would bring him up, on the weekends. And then when I got a car, I would come home on the weekends and see him because, I had a full scholarship. People don't get those aren't just handed out. So
that's an absolute blessing that you came across just on both accounts, getting the full scholarship and your mother being like, yes, I will.
And now he goes to Kent State, so he goes to the school where he visited as a baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he also into computers as well?
Well, kind of, but not. That's not his major.
I guess that's kind of like the thing. Like, what kid isn't in computers, quote unquote, now?
He goes for he's in technical theater. Lighting design. So, designing the lighting schemes for concerts and other productions. And
that's really cool.
He's really good at it, too.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh my God, I made that. I'm really excited. It's cool to be, like, the best thing for me right now about being, like, this age is seeing that these people that I made are doing good things. And, like, they're good at it. Yeah. And they're actually decent human beings,
That's got to be, like, the biggest source of pride.
It is. I'm like, like, yes, my son's going to get a job. He's going to buy me some central AC. He's going to pay my student loans. That's all I ask for. I don't need a new house. I just need some central air and pay my student loans.
It's really not too much to ask.
No.
Because that's those student loans are no joke.
No.
That's the big albatross around most
Seriously.
of our this year's. So you're also the commercial director, manager at Bloomfield Garfield Corporation?
Yes.
What is that job like?
Well, my job there really is to work with the business people on Penn Avenue, just letting them know about resources that are available, or if we maybe got grant funding to offer them some type of program to do that. I also connect potential business owners with property owners, so that, if somebody's looking to lease a space or buy a space, they might email me and say, hey, do you know it's available? Can you tell me?
Yeah, okay.
And I let them know what I know.
Right.
I don't necessarily know everything that's available. It's just kind of what people tell me or what I find out just by looking on real estate websites.
Yeah.
Or property owners can come and say, I need help with this. Is there any funding to help me, renovate the building or whatever? And I also facilitate the Unblurred gallery crawl and manage the Garfield night market.
So how long have you been doing that one, the Unblurred?
It'll be 3 years in September.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you find that to be a source of stress, or?
It's kind of fun because it's really not much involved because each space does their own thing. They really just have to let me know what they're doing so I can post it on our website and stuff. So it's not like I have to actually say, okay, you guys are doing this and you guys are doing that. So it's pretty easy.
Yeah. Well, it's always a good time, at least like Unblurred. I'm really glad that it's been going on as long as it has.
Yeah.
And I guess also it's the first, I always forget, it's the first Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, first Friday of every month. So, all right, so you're hip-hop, you're commercial district manager, you facilitate, organize, coordinate Unblurred.
Yeah.
And teaching, are you still teaching?
Yeah, I teach. I teach at La Roche and I teach at CCAC.
Where do you find your source of strength and organization?
When those things come, in the mail that you open up,
things,
and those little things with those numbers on them, and a return address, bills and kids. But I've always kind of been like that. I started working when I was 15, and I was working like 13 to 15-hour days back then. So I've always just been like, go, 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 go. Yeah. And I think that maybe in a previous life I was really poor because I have this crazy fear of not being able to get a paycheck and pay my bills. I'm totally afraid of that. Some people are deathly afraid of spiders. I'm deathly afraid of not being able to pay my bills.
That's legitimate fear. It's not a good feeling, and especially if you were I don't want to assume, but single mom as a single mom, that's my mother was a single mom and had me young, and I get it, and I feel like even though we never wanted for anything, I feel like that was ingrained upon me just watching her hustle on the regular like that. So I get it. Yeah. Yes.
And I have a business on Penn Avenue also.
Okay, what is that?
It's it's local. It's actually two things in one. It started off just as a gallery space called Local 412, and we did small shows in there.
You're Local 412.
I am Local 412.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So we stopped doing the performances there, but the exposed brick wall we reserve as the gallery space, so that's still called Local 412. But the storefront is now called Arts and Crafts. It's a botanica and a cult shop that I own with my sister and my best friend.
So what kind of stuff is there?
We have over 100 types of incense, and I say it like that, and I do the hand thing every time. I don't care who I say it to. I just over 100 types of incense.
It's I can see it. I can actually see the light. Yeah, the LED lights.
We have sage. We have all kind of candles. We have the 7-day candles in the glass. So if you think you need protection from your enemies, we have a protection from your enemy candle.
Oh, okay.
We have little spell kits, soaps.
So it's exactly what it sounded like. I was I wasn't sure. I didn't want to assume.
Yeah, we have some herbs in there. We have some stones.
Do you make any of it yourself?
Some of the Mojo bags I put together. So at the beginning of the year, I put together a New Year's preparation kit.
Okay.
That had several different types of incense. I had a cannabis, opium, it was not New Year's. It was the post-election relief kit.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So it had an opium, incense, lots of incense, cannabis, anti-stress. It's just
sage.
Yeah. And so sometimes I'll make little necklaces that have vials on them, so I'll put in certain things in the vial that are for certain purposes or whatever. People kind of like those.
Interesting. So is this a certain religious?
Well, we cater to a lot of...
Or is this just more natural, holistic type?
It's a little bit of both. Okay. So, we cater to people who practice Wicca, traditional witchcraft, voodoo, Santeria, Palo Mayombe, Lukumi, those kind of things. And then, just people who happen to like incense
just
and stuff.
Stuff.
Sometimes we get, we had a woman who came in a couple weekends ago. It was a Sunday. She came in, she said she left church and decided she was looking for some new answers, and we were her first stop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys sit and talk to folks that come in there about their extra?
I mean, if people want, sometimes you can tell that somebody wants to talk.
Behind
if somebody wants to talk, we'll talk to them, or we always make sure to greet everybody and let them know that if they have questions, they can just ask, because sometimes people come in there and are like, "There's all this stuff. I'm so interested and I have questions, but I don't know if I should ask." I'm like, no, ask. Because we'll talk to you about it if you're looking for something. We got a computer, we'll Google it for you.
Right.
So we made it a place that's inviting for people, and it's also very reasonably priced. We've heard.
Okay,
yes.
So local 412, reasonably priced.
Yes.
Botanica.
Yes, arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts.
Yeah, so dark arts and witchcrafts. And we are in the arts district of Penn Avenue.
Is this something do you practice
see what I did
Wicca?
that?
Yes, I like that.
No, I am what I would call, or not what I would call, but I am what people call a hedge witch.
And what's that?
That is a person who, we live right here in this universe, but also we are able to access the other side. So if you think traditionally, hedges were on the edges of villages. So, the village is one side, and then the other side is the scary unknown where people won't or can't go to. So, yeah. So
you access the other side?
I can access the other side. Really? Yes.
When did you realize you could do that?
It's probably as far back as I can remember.
I feel like we buried the lead here.
When I was 4. Yeah.
So let's talk about this. let's get in here. Yeah. So, I'm sorry, what age did you?
4 is probably as early as I can remember.
What is the other side like?
Seeing spirits and having people who other people can't see. Mm-hmm. Knowing that they're present and that they can, give us information and stuff like that. Yeah.
Is it just a normal everyday thing, or you have to go through
when I was younger, it
ritual?
was easier to just do, but as I've gotten older, there's kind of a process I have to go through.
I'm sure. I guess it's a little more everything is a little more pure and less judgmental, I guess, as a child.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, as you get older, you have to, filter out certain things, because I have to
focus on life.
And make
live
sure
on this
my
side
kids
of the hedge.
I have to be on this side of the hedge, guys. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
anyway.
No, seriously, I am fascinated by this. If you don't mind talking about.
No, that's okay. I mean, it's cool because people will, people that I even just know from Pittsburgh hip hop scene, they'll come to me and say, "Hey, can you help me with this?" Or this is a situation I'm dealing with, or I have a friend who's dealing with this. What do you suggest? And so I guess I provide consultation.
Okay. Yes. Apparently you do. Consultations also work. I feel like that's another source of income.
It is.
That you can tap into.
Yeah.
What is the most random or spirit that you have maybe just come across? Or
there was a guy who had on lederhosen, no shirt, and he had a sheep with him. I'm not even kidding you. I swear to you. I'm serious. And I was like, and he was worried that I would judge him because he was dressed differently and it's sheep. I said, I don't care that you're lacking a shirt and that you're with sheep. Just get to the point here.
Is it very clear to you? Like, is it very apparent that that this is what you're seeing? It's not like, holy shit, there's a dude walking down the street.
No.
Okay.
It's like it's not like, it's usually like I'm in my house or something.
Okay.
Because, if I'm outside and like I'm doing something, like I'm at Giant Eagle, I'm like I'm shopping at Giant Eagle. I'm not like at my home.
Gotcha.
Like focusing on trying to,
okay.
Yeah.
How does this not freak you out?
Like I said, I've always kind of dealt with it since I was little. My mom's kind of the same way.
Yeah, that was.
I get it from my mama.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've always when I was young, I could see people's auras around them and stuff like that.
And are they in fact different color?
Yeah.
Ours.
Yeah, they're not as easy for me to see now, but so when I was younger, they used to be very apparent.
Okay. So if I were to come into your store or request some sort of consultation, I mean, would you be able to see my aura after we talk or whatnot, or after a while, or?
I mean, it depends. I would just try to sense what kind of energy you have, because some people you're just like, oh no. I mean, we all kind of have that ability to some extreme. Like, there's some people that you don't like them, but you don't know why you don't like them. You just don't like them. Like that's your, inner self telling you like that person's not good.
Right.
Like according to your definition of goodness.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, this is fascinating to me. So I've never heard of a hedge witch before in my life.
It's an actual thing.
And
it gives you something else to Google.
Yeah, right. Like that's the rabbit hole I'm going down later today.
And it really is. It's definitely a rabbit hole. Yeah. But the hedge witches also are the ones who would say, okay, well, like I said, okay, you're having this problem. Well, let me tell you what you might need to change or what you maybe need to do to try to address that situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, damn, I could talk about this like all for us today, but you got shit to do. So, before.
That's my mom life,
Right. But I'm probably going to be stopping into local 412 just to see what's going on over there.
I'll be there.
All right. So, did you bring your list of?
Yeah, it's in my head.
All right. Great.
Yeah.
So, I asked Amber to give me her list of top 5 songs by female artists.
Yeah. There's a lot. Okay, let me just say, there's a lot of songs out there that I like. So I was trying to think of like some songs that when they come on, I'm like, oh, that's my song right there. So, and just even thinking about these songs, I'm like, they're not like the most lyrical songs, but they're songs that make me go,
that's my jam.
Right there. That's my jam. Yeah. that is it. Or like, wait a minute, you could talk to me till the song's over.
That is the worst thing. Like when you're in the car with somebody, your song comes on and somebody's I'm gonna need you.
My girl Jazz, she knows that if ODB, like Got Your Money comes on, don't talk. Like I'm going nuts in the car. I'm going to rap every single word, and then when it's over, we can resume our conversation right where we left off at. But so, and these are in no particular order, but one of them is Missy Elliott, Super Duper Fly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those don't. Like
it was just so different, and you're like, whoa, and it's a chick on there,
right?
And she wasn't even really talking about anything, but it was cool, and it was like it was fun, Another one is Foxy Brown. What is it? Get You Home.
Okay. Yes.
That one.
Yeah, I miss Foxy Brown.
Yeah, I mean, she tried a little bit ago with that diss.
Well, maybe 90s Foxy Brown.
Yeah, 90s Foxy Brown. Because right now I'm like, just no. I like Lil' Kim, No Time. I got No Time for Fake Ones.
Okay.
That one.
All right.
That's 3. And then there was Lady of Rage, Afro Puffs.
Oh my God.
That song. I love it so much. Don't talk to me when that song is on. It's in my favorites list on my satellite radio.
Nice.
And Boss, Deeper.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, this is from like early 90s. She was a gangster rapper. She actually got signed to Def Jam West.
Okay.
And then she just she put out an album and then she disappeared. I guess she had like a kidney transplant or something. Wow. And had a kid or something, but.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I listened to it this morning again just to make sure. I was like, yeah, that was it right there.
Is it still there?
I was like, oh, this beat is hard.
All right, so if you guys are listening on WMCK.FM, you will get to hear Amber's music block. If not, then I, more than likely on my website, under the show notes, I will have made a Spotify playlist that goes around, curated around Amber's top 5. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with Questionable Conversation, which is me just asking you 20 random questions.
Okay, sounds fun.
We sang a jangle. We so tight that you get our styles tangled. Sway your do-si-do like you loco. Can we get kinky tonight like Coco? So-so. You wanna play with my yo-yo? I smoke my hydro on the D-Lo. I can't stand her. It's my window. I can't stand her. It's my window. I can't stand her. It's my window. I can't stand her.
All right, we are back with Hedge Witch, Amber Epps. And we're going to do Questionable Conversation. So these are not rapid fire, so don't feel pressured.
Okay. I love game shows, so I'm like, yeah, let's go with the game show. Let's go. I'm super competitive.
All right. What album can you listen to from beginning to end?
Scarface, Untouchable.
Do you prefer sunrises or sunsets?
Sunsets.
Have you ever been in a talent show?
Define talent show.
Like, the whole point of it was be like, hey, this is a talent show. Like, either you win something for your talent or it's just a time to showcase your talent.
Yes.
Okay. Do you need to write down things to remember them?
No.
What was your first job?
I worked at Southern Platter. Soul food restaurant. It used to be in Homewood, but I worked at it when it was in Penn Hills.
Okay.
July 25th, 1995 was the first day I started. I don't know. I know the most random things, but I can't remember last Thursday. Like, it's really crazy.
What's the last thing you took a picture of?
Wait a minute. Maybe I should look.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. My phone's slow. I don't have those nice iPhones like the kids. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's funny. The last thing I took a picture of was a flyer or a poster that someone illegally posted on a light pole on Penn Avenue.
Now, was it for the content of the flyer that you took the photo, or as proof that somebody has illegally?
It's proof, because that's part of my job is to keep Penn Avenue clean from things like graffiti and stuff. And so I have to get in touch with the person who posted the flyer to let them know, like, you got to take these down because the city's going to start citing people. Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. How do you learn best? By listening, watching, reading, or doing?
Doing.
What's the first thing you do when you get home from a trip?
Take my shoes off.
What is your favorite part of the human face and why?
I like... Ooh. Oh, I can only pick one?
Yes.
Okay. I really feel like, oh my God, I want a game show. I gotta say the right thing. I like eyes.
Okay.
I know I was supposed to pick one, but I also like mouths.
Okay.
Because people smile with them.
Yes. Both the eyes and the mouth. People can smize.
Yes, smize.
Do you talk to yourself?
Yes. And I respond.
That's a whole different podcast.
Yeah. We have a checklist of other podcasts.
We'll tackle that at another time. What's something you'd like to tell your younger self?
Don't date him, girl. .com.
All right. Do you hold grudges?
Yes.
Obviously. Do you speak any other languages?
Body language. I speak a little bit of Spanish.
Okay. Which of the 5 senses would you say is your strongest?
Taste.
Outside of family members, with whom is your longest friendship?
How Oh my goodness, because now it's like, well, define friendship. Like, are we still like actively friending it out? Like,
yeah, like not just like, oh yeah, I've known this girl since. Like you call, you hang out, you still communicate other than Facebook.
Probably my best friend Beth, and we've been best friends for maybe like only like 5 years.
Okay,
but it's like my longest running strong friendship.
Well, that's awesome. That's a good. Congratulations.
Yeah, her name's Beth. I say she's my Beth friend. Yeah, and we're like addicted to each other. So she's also my Beth amphetamine.
That's so cute.
And she's Jewish and used to be a carpenter. So I say she's my Jesus.
Yeah. I can't take it. Who is someone who encourages you?
Like, in a good way or a bad way. My sister, Pamela.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Ooh, The Weeknd.
Really?
Yes.
What is it about him?
What is there not about him? Like, what are you asking me that? Like, is that another question? Like, what do you mean?
I'm just going to leave it alone because I can see in your eyes right now that there's just like serious infatuation. You are not fucking around about this.
No, hologram Tupac's pretty good too.
You never get tired of blank.
I never get tired of sleeping. I never get tired of listening to music.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yes.
Describe yourself in one word.
Wait a minute. Well, this is a word someone else has used, and I'll use this word, eccentric.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I could see that a bit. But I haven't really gotten in, so I don't.
There's lots of words. Beth called me something yesterday, but I can't remember what it was.
All right, we'll go with eccentric.
Okay. I
right.
like eccentric. Yeah. Because it's like, it's not the average. Like, you're just,
right. Yeah. You're just
extra.
all over.
Yeah.
You're just extra.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's our show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any place that people can find out what you're up to online? Or?
Yep. Hollyhood156.com.
Okay. All right.
That is it.
All right. Awesome. And always, you guys can check out my stuff on RuggedAngel.com, and you can find me on Twitter at @the_RuggedAngel. All episodes are on iTunes and Libsyn under Rugged Angel Productions. Rugged Angel is one word. Once again, thank you, Holly. Holly.
Yeah.
Holly, Amber. It was a pleasure.
Cool. Thank you.